Welcome to the exciting world of the movies.
Labor Day has come and gone. We are not allowed to wear white anymore, which is unfortunate because white was the color that hid all the stains we had on our clothes. But
Exactly.
we are going to send the summer out with a bang, ain't we, Zach?
With a fucking bang.
Bigger bang theory than Kaylee Cuoco could ever handle, ain't that right?
Exactly. Fucking the original Big Bang was a big fucking cum shot. You heard it here, folks. Fucking Illuminati exposed.
Illuminati exposed. How do you think we got the flat Earth?
Tell them. Preach.
We are talking about the Savage Steve Holland magnum opus. Some people claim to be his best film. We'll get into that, I guess, a little later on. But we are talking about the one, the only One Crazy Summer. I guess we probably should have covered this back in May, maybe, Zach, because at the beginning of the movie they're graduating from high school. But I guess it's supposed to take place over the course of a summer, so we're still good by doing the summer wrap up with this film.
Exactly, baby. Fucking, this movie is so brand new to me. Fucking, I literally opened up the Blu-ray. I fucking bought it just because I've liked fucking Better Off Dead for so long. It was just fucking. I didn't even realize they made another movie right after. It could be like a fucking sequel, and I was just like, I bought it, fucking opened it up. And we's doing it, baby. Fucking these motherfuckers. They put the only special feature on here is the commentary, but they could have just waited a little longer and got ours to put on there too.
Exactly. Yeah, because this just came out on Blue. I remember when it came out on Blue, maybe a year ago. And by the way, we did actually have a listener suggest us through the Podbean website. So, listener, if you're still with us, I don't know if you still are. We are doing this. They commented right after we did Better Off Dead, and I said maybe one day. And
dude,
then,
the Kino cock, the Kino sized cock on this fucking viewer that fucking commented.
Yeah, he's the best. I would say his name, but it's just one of them fake screen names. So I mean,
exactly.
He knows who he is, or she. Exactly. I don't know. With them names, you can't tell.
Fucking either a Kino cock or a Kino clit, Kino sized clit in this house.
Exactly. So we're gonna get it rolling. This movie, when you hit play, baby, it don't play around. It's 1 second in, you're already in the Warner Brothers logo. So yeah. So we got that great cartoonized, hand-drawn Warner Brothers Pictures logo, which unfortunately they don't use anymore. Discovery Channel can't afford this logo anymore.
And they don't use the one that it becomes even more hand-drawn and even more beautiful. We'll
exactly.
See.
So I want to say 1, 2, 3, go. When you hear me say go, please press play on your remotes or your PS3 controllers. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go.
Fucking hell yeah! Look at that Warner Bros. Pictures instrumental music. Fucking
I know.
I got the fucking look at that. It got even more beautiful.
It got more big budget. This is looking more high budget than. I love the captions. David Lee Roth singing "Easy Street." We got to mention one of my favorite things about Better Off Dead, which is the director's previous film, was the sequence with where a hamburger came to life and played guitar. He played Van Halen's song "Everybody Wants Some," and this time we don't get Van Halen, but we do get David Lee Roth, which is just as good in my opinion.
Fucking amazing. There's continuity happening between the films. He's already fucking establishing a universe so ahead of his fucking time. Way ahead, way more fucking I like the cut of this guy's jib. He had a vision. He's not like these fucking hacks at Marvel who fucking just make movies about guys in tights. He had the idea for a universe, and he was making these fucking Chad ass films that just blow your fucking mind and your wad at the same time.
Exactly. And I guess we should say it opens up we don't even really know what's going on at this point in the movie. It's just some dank ass animation. It's like Spike and Mike's Animation Festival Volume 14 over here.
You know what I realized when I was watching this? Fucking, I think this inspired one fucking Thomas Green to start his movie out the same way, but in a way much more cut back and fuck you type of way. Almost like he was really just trying to make a movie where he was mocking the audience, hey, they gave me a bunch of money to make a movie. Isn't that hilarious? Such a great movie. We need to do that at some point.
We do. Everybody in the world. The only reason I haven't covered that movie is it seems like everybody in the world wants to come on and do it. And it's just who do you get to do it? Or do you do 3 episodes of it with 5 people on each show? I don't know.
Freddy got fingered. We need the sequel. Freddy got fist fucked. You gotta up the ante.
That was the working title for this. Like, I even freeze framed that poster on the wall he had of, like, that music guy, like, whoever it was, Prince Jesse or whatever. Like, I was like, who is that? I was like, is that a fake poster? Like, I couldn't, like, it didn't look real. Yeah, he has the cat, and they showed the cat Donut Dookie.
Fucking, I love cat Dookie. It's the best smelling type of Dookie.
Oh, God.
It really is the fucking greatest.
It is.
I'm being ironic. It's the worst.
I know.
I remember anytime you buy a house, you go inside and you smell something that smells terrible. It's like, oh, I bet they had a bunch of cats. That's fucking great. Amazing.
I know. Just one cat can stink out a whole house, let alone if you have 2 or 3.
Exactly. And they apparently when they lift their buttholes to you, they want you to smell it. They think we want like that smell or something.
They think we want part of it.
I've heard that's a true thing. Whenever a cat does that, they lift their butt towards you. It's because they're offering themselves.
I haven't spent, because it was so awful, I haven't spent like $200 on like one of those robot cat scoopers, and like all it does is scoop it into like a cardboard area where it gathers up and stinks even worse. They don't work. Yes. Don't spend your money on those things.
Look, so many parallels between other great Kino classics. We already saw the parallel between Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah. And it was nice of them to include that because it was like years before that movie came out. Clearly, fucking Savage Steve knew what he was doing. And now we got fucking, it's almost like fucking son-in-law. Like fucking, hear us roar. Fucking, she's getting ready to go move out of the fucking, the farm and shit, hang out with our boy Polly.
Yeah, like they do the high school graduation, which their classmate jumped up to celebrate and he died. Like that was weird. But like you really, this is weird too because they talk about like John Cusack, who's the main character. His name or nickname in the movie is Hoops. That's all you ever know him by. They talk about he didn't get his basketball scholarship, but then you find out later he's like terrible at basketball. So like I never understood the basketball thing was like supposed to be real or what. But I need you to explain this joke to me, Zach, because I didn't get it all. I was like, they're depressed because like him and his buddy, who is I think it's Joel David Murray, Bill Murray's brother, like they're walking out and like everybody, like all the kids got like brand new cars. I'll give her like some kids even got like Camaros, and then Hoops has like a construction machine or a pavement roller waiting for him. And I don't understand that because like I don't think that's really real. Like who gave that to him? Because he just lives with his mom. Like
I think it's just something absurd to put in there. We all remember our first car. Most people are like, "Oh, it's a hunk of junk." Fucking his literally is heavy machinery. He's like fucking. Remember that was the selling point for that show, Alex Mack on Nickelodeon. She can operate heavy machinery. She can turn into a puddle and go underneath the door. She's basically like the T3000 or whatever model. And but like, oh yeah, she turns into a Capri Sun commercial and she can go underneath the door. And then it's like, and she can operate heavy machinery. And it's like fucking, who the fuck cares? Like, that's not hard to do. I like this joke though.
Yeah. There's like they cut to the little sister of Joel David Murray, and she has an ugly dog. By the way, that's Ricky's mom from Better Off Dead. This older MILF Stacy there is the crossing guard. But
I was gonna say that's Ricky Lake, and I was like, fucking Ricky Lake was Stacy when they made this movie. Damn.
But yeah, like they make fun of this dog, but it's a normal dog, and all it is like they shaved its hair up. Did you notice that? Like they just shaved off like big patches of its hair. And these bully girls are making like the pig face, and it's like they say, the crossing guard says, "Hey, don't make that face. If somebody slaps you on the back, you'll get stuck." And the little sister does slap on the back, and like their faces, even the doll, the Cabbage Patch doll, has like a pig face now. I thought that was a great joke. That was actually probably my favorite joke when I watched this again.
They looked just like fucking the crazy creatures from that episode of the Twilight Zone, where you think they're gonna take the bandage off the girl. You think she's gonna be ugly, but fucking she's beautiful, and it zooms out, and we realize that they were all like a fucking amazing Kino ass fucking show.
It's been a long time since I've seen that episode. Was the people that was ugly? Was that the way they were naturally born, or did they have plastic surgery to get that ugly? I can't remember.
Fucking that was just the natural way, baby. They were all natural.
And then when the girl who took this bandage off, she was a Stacy, they thought she was gross, right?
Exactly.
They started puking, masturbating.
Exactly. Fucking, we got Demi Moore here.
Oh my god, I love Demi Moore.
Is
around
the,
this? I can.
the fucking?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
don't know
go
if this is before or after St. Elmo's Fire, but like around that
Yeah.
time.
She's a big Stacy with a guitar. She's gonna show up and serenade you, play
No,
you some fucking hearts and shit.
no, they would never like fully like explain this in the movie. Like, who was this guy? Yeah, here's Soups. You can't throw the soda can in the trash can. Which I actually do remember. Like, what do you call it? Like gas stations. The trash can would just be like an old barrel like that back in the day. But
Mm-hmm.
they never fully explain it. But she's on the run from like a biker gang, and like I'm like she says, oh, this guy, he was trying to steal my money. You know, it was my money. I earned it. I saved it up or whatever. But it's just like why? Like, was this guy with the pink hair, pink spike hair and mullet, was that her boyfriend? Was she actually having sex with this ugly ass guy?
I don't know. I see more purple. I see
Yeah.
more purple. Is this guy an SJW? He's got the purple hair?
he's one of those people that complain on Twitter everything. Because one of the guys that Ben is always talking about, the purple hairs.
Oh yes. Oh yes. He's got some. He's going to some college and shit.
Yeah.
Everything that's bad. Fucking.
Going to
he's got
college is
some
bad.
art degree and shit.
Yeah.
That is kind of how they spin it now.
I
It
know.
really is.
It's really weird
It
because,
is-
I mean, granted, it's been decades since I've been in college, but when I was in college, everybody in college was like the most depraved. Like, even the girls, even the most atheist girls, they were all about just getting drunk on the weekend and getting slammed.
Oh yes. They just fucking the biker gang had a bunch of money and they ran out. The fucking Demi Moore is now in their car and they're fucking getting away from this biker gang. That's how they meet the Demi Moore character.
Yeah, and they pulled out the gas station pump. That was a very Stacy, Chad ass stunt they did there. But it was funny too because like she hid the money in the paper towel dispenser, and Cusack found it, but then he just threw it up in the air to distract the gang so they could run away. It's like, well, the gang had the money at that point. Shouldn't they have stopped chasing them?
Exactly. They make this joke. See, I feel like you mentioned that there is a joke you didn't get. I feel like so much of it, like, because I think I mentioned on the Better Off Dead that a lot of the jokes are kind of like a Naked Gun movie.
Yeah.
Like, kind of where it's like fucking, they're coming at you every time, and you're not going to notice them all the first time. Like, I feel like there's so many jokes that I missed because I just watched this for the first time.
Well, I know this one too. He kind of like, I think it was this one. This was like the one where he complained a lot that like some like shit happened, like either with the editing or the budget or something. They couldn't film a lot of shit that they wanted to do. But yeah.
I wonder to be a fly on the wall and witness the tension that must have been between the director and John Cusack, because didn't they hate each other at this point?
Which is weird because they like literally, like, we should say, if I'm not mistaken, right, Better Off Dead came out like around 85. This came out around 86. Like, they shot 2 movies back to back, and it's like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just weird that you know, and like I think if I remember what I was read when we did Better Off Dead, I think they eventually like kind of patched it up, or Cusack was like, oh, that was overblown, but yeah, it was like they didn't like each other. But it's weird though because like Cusack did a lot of movies around this time, like, you know, and these are probably his 2 biggest cult movies that like lived on, but like they weren't really big hits at the time. But in a weird way, when you watch Cusack in the Savage Steve Holland movies, these characters are like the most Cusack. Like, this is what you think of when you think of teenage Cusack movies, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. Fucking yeah, apparently, like John Cusack, what he saw the premiere of Better Off Dead, and he was like, "Fucking, that was a piece of shit. You made a fuck out of me. I look like a fuck up." He was convinced he was gonna be like the fucking next heartthrob. That was kind of gonna be the way he's portrayed in the movie, and then like he was just blown away, which is weird because like you read the script, didn't you? Or
Right,
did you?
right.
Maybe
Like,
you didn't. Maybe
like,
you
how could you not? Which, by the way, like, have you ever seen the movie he did like the year after this, called Hot Pursuit?
I didn't.
Yeah, like it's hard to describe, like, but it's like these movies, like the Savage Steve movies, but just not nearly as funny. But he's like just as goofball. Like, his girlfriend goes on like some weird like a tropical vacation, and he's trying to like catch up with her, and he has to go through the jungle to find her and all this bullshit. And it's just like, it's not nearly like, I mean, it's worth watching just because it's a goofy ass movie, but it's like not nearly as good as these movies. And I'm just kind of like, you hated Savage Steve, you shot 2 movies with him back to back, and then immediately you did another movie that was like pretty much the same type of humor. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, fucking he didn't know what he wanted. He didn't realize he wanted to be in great comedic Kino.
Yeah. And I
He
mean,
wanted the heartthrob vibes.
let's be honest, it's a great movie for a lot of different reasons, but like, if you're like worried about looking stupid or whatever, why the hell a couple years later after this movie would you make Tape Heads? Which is like,
that's a great film. That's a great film.
it is a great film, but if you're trying to have a serious ass career and like you're worried about looking stupid, like,
He probably gave up by then. He's like, Savage Steve made a fuck out of me. I'm never gonna salvage this. I might as well make my money.
Savage Steve cucked my acting career.
Exactly. Is this a joke? Is
Yeah.
this basically just an elaborate joke about how the shark looks fake in Jaws?
Yeah.
I think I just put it together because
Yeah.
I was just seeing the ending and fucking I think there's something about that shirt that reminds me of the Black Flag artwork. Fucking
Yeah, it looks just like
My
it, the
War.
color.
It's like the same mitten he's got wearing on the little mitten guy, almost.
So the town that they were in, where he graduated high school from, the town name was Generic, like literally generic. That was the name of the town. And he's like, I gotta get out of Generic. So they go to this island, which is like very much like Cape Cod or Amity in the Jaws movie. Like, it looks just like where they shot Jaws. And they're filming a sequel, Foam 2, about a mentally. Isn't it a what do they call it? It's either mentally retarded or it's a mutated dolphin, but it looks like an ugly ass shark. Yeah, and like they're filming this movie, and it's like constantly in the water eating people throughout the whole movie.
I forgot they made a retarded dolphin joke, and then that's the shark from Jaws of the movie that they're making. They're shooting a movie at the same place. See, so many of the jokes just kind of like that. I forgot that happened in the movie. Well, who's this Stacy?
I don't know. I have no idea who this actress is.
Big Stacy.
Although
she almost. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say she's giving me fucking what's her name vibes from Fright Night.
Oh, Amanda Beers. You know who she reminded me of? She reminded me of the girl from 16 Candles, like the really hot girl that Anthony Michael Hall is like always trying to get with.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if I've seen 16 Candles.
Oh, you gotta see it, baby. It's great.
I think I did. That's the one with the guy from 3.5 Men.
Oh, is it? I don't
Fucking
think so.
Ducky or whatever his name is, or something like that. Maybe. I'm probably.
It's the
thinking
one
of
with
the
Molly Ringwald. John Cusack's in it, playing one of the background nerds.
Chad.
Yeah.
See, he was just fucking. He failed upwards.
Yeah.
See, that's a joke that they say, but fucking, he didn't fail. This is the fucking. To him, he failed. He thought he fucking fucked up his career right away. But like fucking, these are some of the greatest Kino, and the motherfucker's name is Savage Steve. You can't get any more fucking. That motherfucker's savage.
Yeah, this girl was in some other movies, but no, she wasn't in 16 Candles. I don't know who she is. It seemed like she just did small. But, like, they went on the boat. We got the last, I think, unless they show up later, you got the last appearance of those ugly kids who got their face stuck. And then, like, as soon as they step off the boat, they meet 2 big Chads, the Stork brothers, played by our boy Bobcat Goldthwait, and then also comedy legend Tom Villard plays the other Stork brother. And they round out the crew. And, like, that's what I like about these old movies, Zach, is the first 20 minutes back then was all about introducing the crew. Like, you could never have just, like, one funny guy in a movie or a pair of funny guys. You always had to have either a trio or 4 or 5. You always had to have a crew of guys that were always up for wacky hijinks and adventures.
Exactly. It's better than real life. How often do you have funny friends? That many funny friends, even. Amazing.
Exactly. And yeah, like here's like a kind of character that's really not even like important in the movie, but like Joel David Murray, like they're staying at his grandmother's house, and like his one uncle's there. He all he does is sit in a room, like literally chain smoking, trying to win a radio contest.
Exactly.
Trying to win $1 million.
All-star cast in this. There's so many fucking like Chad motherfuckers.
Exactly. Speaking of rounding out the crew, now we meet Big Chad. Joe Flaherty plays the owner of the surplus store, and his son is Curtis Armstrong, aka Booger, who was also in A Better Off Dead. Like, I don't know why. Like, maybe it's just the way the movies were shot or something, Zach. But like, for some reason, everybody seems younger in this movie than they did in Better Off Dead.
Fucking incredible.
Like I know they shot him pretty much back to back, but like the guy who plays Booger, Curtis Armstrong, like he's got like a beard in Better Off Dead, and in this one he's like clean shaven and he looks like he's like 12 years old.
Fucking maybe Savage Steve actually got the fucking he got the fountain of youth. All you gotta do is let him film you. Fucking,
you'll get younger.
Exactly. That might be the thing. Maybe that's. Well, what if he never realized he had that talent, like, because people didn't stick around with him long enough to fucking put it all together?
Doing movies, yeah.
He was giving me Adrian Brody vibes, fucking John Cusack there.
Yeah. I love
He
Adrian
just had,
Brody.
like, he just had, like, a weird fucking Adrian Brody vibe, and it just fucking, I wanted to fuck him right away.
Adrian Brody or John Cusack?
Both of them.
Have you ever seen Summer of Sam? This will really charge your erotic juices. Summer of Sam, really Stacy, I think it's Jennifer Esposito. She's hanging out with Adrian Brody, and he's like a punk rocker, you know, in the 70s, like when punk rock was new. And like they started dating and stuff. And then like she finds out his secret is he's a like a male dancer at a gay strip club.
Chad.
And like he gets naked in front of men, but he's not gay. He's just gay for pay.
That's the Kino shit. That's that's what you do.
Yeah.
I laugh at that.
Yeah.
I actually did.
Talk about random.
It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah. Our boy Booger here, he's like picking up old, well, not even old. They're actually blowing up the beach, and he's picking up the shells to sell at his dad's store. And they find, what is this, a doll with its head ripped off? They find
the reveal though is what the reveal, the way it pans down and the doll is in the foreground, so you don't realize that it's in the foreground, so you think that they just found a dead body, and they're like, oh yeah. Shit.
It feels like something out of Zodiac. It's like some David Fincher shit.
And that really did get me. I thought they just happened upon a dead body, but it's a fucking doll. Pretty Savage Steve. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I got a piece of trivia here, even though this person hasn't appeared in the movie, but this tells you how well cast this movie is. This is Jeremy Piven's first theatrical feature with his friend and former roommate John Cusack.
Amazing.
I think they ended up making like 8 movies together, and they co-founded a theater company. Now we got to talk about our boy Mark Metcalf. I want to say he got famous playing the bully in Animal House, but then he was like the dad in like the Twisted Sister videos that was always screaming at the son for liking rock music.
What do you want to do with your life?
Now, did you notice, or you can see it real good in this shot, it's like how bad they fucked his hair up to make him look older? They chopped his hair, like put gray streaks, but in the front, like they shaved part of his hair off, and then they chopped it short to make it kind of make it look like he was like an older guy with like a balding hair. But it's like so you can see the stubble growing in.
I didn't notice his hair at all. I was just too busy noticing his fucking mustache.
Yeah, the first shot of the movie,
so
I noticed that big chunk of hair that was like, you know, it's so weird.
But he got, yeah. You know he had to have gotten pussy with that mustache.
Oh yeah. Why do you think he grew it?
That might not even be a mustache. He might have just like fucking sucked a butthole that had poop all around the rim. It might have happened. I can't tell.
And anyway, he's like the bully father, who's like the father of the bully, who this blonde haired guy who drives a Ferrari. And like I kind of feel like this movie had like the bully characters in it, like just like to kind of like Freddy Got Fingered, just like how Tom Green did shit, just to like parody other movies. You know what I mean?
Hell yes. It does. It's got a quality like he's sabotaging his own movie. Fucking the fact that it's called generic New York he comes from. It's like, is that a joke about how like, oh, it's just the placeholder he had there for the first draft, but it just stayed that way, or is he like getting all keen? Is he getting like all five of that? And he's like, that's what they're gonna think, but the real reason is fucking irony, bro. Irony. Was he ahead of Tom Green with the fucking irony?
I think
ironic
he was.
Humor.
I think Tom Green was heavily. But we got to talk about this like model of the city that the bully dad wants to build, because apparently it's really the grandfather of the family, who's played by the awesome William Hickey, a great character actor. Like the grandfather has all the money, and like they just like take his money, and like they're not really successful themselves. Like they always need the grandpa's money to do anything, and like they want to build this like giant like looks like the White House, this lobster restaurant called Lobster Log Restaurant. And like in order to like show this, like the whole backyard is taken up by like this giant like model of the town, which the only reason that this is in the movie is to pay off my favorite joke when I was a kid that's in it.
Oh yes, we'll get to that. We will get to that.
So like our boy Hoops here, he reconnects with Stacy Demi Moore because it turns out she was going to help her. I think it was her uncle or grandfather. And he owned a house which was like kind of like an old people's house, which like this was like the one thing when I was watching it, I was like, did they not film these scenes or did they get cut out? Because it's really like never really shown this house that she's trying to save. It's like the main plot of the movie, and they never bothered to really show it that much.
Exactly. What if we found out at the end that she was lying from the beginning? Like
because she was coming to help her uncle. Because like he has this big old house where a bunch of poor old people live, and like I guess they couldn't pay the mortgage, so like she has like I forget what it is. It's like a week or two to come up with like $3,000, which is like a lot of money actually in like 1986 terms when you don't have a job or any income or anything. She's just like a musician. I think we forgot to mention that, but so I mean that's basically it. Like this is like really 80s boilerplate. Wacky comedy thing. And so remember those movies back there, Zach? Like they was always about trying to save like your local pizza place or your school or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Fucking Happy Gilmore ripped this movie off.
Yeah, his grandma's house, right?
Exactly. Fucking I think some motherfucker who was friends with that motherfucker Adam Sandler. I don't hate Adam Sandler. Fucking people hate him because it's like fucking he puts all of his friends in movies and he just fucking goes on vacation. It's like fucking if I was famous I'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we're not even famous. What do you think we're doing here right now?
Exactly. That's all they're doing too. They're just fucking jealous. They're really mad because Adam Sandler's got the biggest Chad dick in the world. I think.
I own a couple Adam Sandler movies. I own Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. I'm not ashamed.
Exactly. Fucking, and he can even put out a Kino classic fucking recently, fucking with the Uncut Gems. I still think they should have went with the original plot, Uncut Cox it was going to be called. Yeah. And it was going to be all about him fucking being a fucking, I forgot what the plot was actually, but I had it all planned out.
I think it was a guy who his uncle ran a clinic where people would do like not babies, well maybe babies too, but like grown-ups who like if your family forgot to circumcise you when you're a baby, they could come there. It was like a low cost thing for the neighborhood.
And he's basically like the diamond jewel cutter of God. He looks at that fucking foreskin and he's like, fucking look at the beauty on that. Look at the beauty, fucking getting all intricate. I didn't get that joke there where he fucking sank into the.
So it's like a thing if you stand on the beach long enough, Zach. Like the tide, like it basically like the sand like grows up over your feet, and if like you would need to stand there for probably like 3 days to get down to your like knees the way he was. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it was just that they were standing there talking on the beach and like his legs sunk down in the sand.
I've only been to the beach once and I didn't notice that. But like fucking, I thought like, were they trying to make a joke about him being like fucking short or something? Because he's standing next to Demi Moore and it looked like, I was overthinking it way too much. But the movie's still Kino.
It's very Kino. And another piece of trivia: the character name Hoops McCann was taken from a character in the 1980 Steely Dan song "Glamour Profession."
Exactly.
I actually have a really funny foreskin thing that I saw in like a recent thing, recent TV show, but I kind of don't want to tell it because I feel like it's like too long to set up. But
Oh yeah, we gotta hear it now. We gotta hear it.
we do. Well, yeah, like here we got Bobcat and Joel David Murray, and like this is like almost like a little bit of a filler part. Like this is like they're just doing beach humor at this point in the movie.
Exactly. We always have to have the scene where the friends get to the beach house and then they just hang.
Yeah, Bobcat, he has a kite and he gives it to a little boy, and the kid just flies up into the air. Like
I forgot that happened. That is hilarious.
And he just runs away scared, and the kid totally like flies away.
The way they filmed it almost makes it seem like it happened without them noticing. It was like it was just something that happened. It was a happy accident. Like, holy shit, the kite picked the kid up, but you know that can't happen.
Yeah.
Like, but it was filmed like they weren't trying to make it obvious that a joke was coming. It just like fucking happened and moved on. It was very very Kino. Very Kino.
It was. So anyway, I'll try to make it short. Foreskin share. I only saw the pilot, but the pilot episode of that Batwoman TV show that was on for a couple years. I think it actually made it 3 seasons before it got canceled. Cusack's talking with that blonde Stacy and her friends, which is weird because, like, no offense, but like Demi Moore is like 10 times hotter, and like she's like warm and like wanting to get to know John Cusack in the early part of the movie. He just keeps blowing her off because he's so in love with this Stacy. I guess because she's blonde. So anyway, Catwoman, not Catwoman. I'm sorry, Batwoman. It's all about there's like a niece of Batman, and Batman has died. I can't remember if he just died of old age or he got killed as Batman or he just disappeared. But
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make it so that they're far away? Like, oh, we need a reason why they can never meet up because we never want to pay the other actor to show up. On this show.
Well, so it's almost like she like, and it was like she didn't even know he was Batman either. Like that's what's weird about it. So she kind of inherits all his shit and takes his company over, and then like this guy Lucius Fox, who was played by Morgan Freeman in the movie, but because you know the show's trying to be young and hip, it's like a young guy for some reason, or maybe he's Lucius Fox's son. I can't remember. But anyway, like you know, she finds a thing. She finds the Batcave, and it's like not really impressive looking either compared to like the Batcaves you see in the movie. But anyway, like they find the suit. And she's like kind of like a crime fighter already. She failed out of the police academy, but she's like badass and all this shit and always getting in trouble. And it's like she's going through the thing. She sees the suit and she's like, oh yeah, like you know, like I'm going to take this over. But there's like also these like little cases, displays, and trinkets and shit of like different things. Of you know, she's like going through with Lucius Fox or Lucius Fox Jr., whoever he is, and she's like, oh look at this case, you know, and it's like a jewel or like a thing, and like, oh that was from this case, and Batman did this and Batman did that, and there's like they get to this one and it's just like this little like almost like a quarter, like a round piece of skin, like it almost looks like Saw, how like the Saw guy Jigsaw would like cut off the piece of skin. And she looks at it and she's like, what's this? Like it's just a piece of skin. And he's like, well, you know, that's actually kind of a long story, but basically what happened was at one point the Joker got a hold of Batman and held him hostage for days, and he actually, against Batman's will, cut off his foreskin and kept it, you know, as a trophy of defeating Batman. And she looks at it in the case, she goes, yeah, you know, that's interesting and all, but this piece of foreskin, you know, it'll be better when it fits a woman. And she looks like Adam, like it's a powerful line, and she walks out of frame and they go to commercial break. And like for the life of me, yeah, like that came on the air like 2 years ago, and I've been thinking about that line, like how like I didn't keep watching the show, but did she have him graft that piece of foreskin onto her somehow? Like I don't even understand how a man's foreskin would even possibly fit a woman.
Was she trying to be poetic and it wasn't really about the foreskin at all?
I don't know.
Such a weird thing to say.
I don't know. It's just weird. She's like, yeah, well, it would be better when it fits a woman. It's like, in what way? It's a piece of dead skin, lady.
Does she think it's like fucking Cinderella? Some handsome prince is gonna come like, shove it up
all
there?
Of a sudden, the magic kicks in, and all of a sudden she's like the equivalent of Batman or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's the perfect fit. It's the perfect fit.
Oh, it's like
You
put on a
win.
slipper. Yeah, so
Fucking
like basically that whole beach scene was just so we could get to the point where Joel David Murray, like they buried him up to his neck, and then they put a chair over him to keep the sun off him, and then some fat guy came out, and this fat guy was like eating hot dogs. Eventually, he's just eating cans of beans and chili, and he ends up farting so much that Joel David Murray basically like passes out, and the paramedics have to come to revive him. Like, like that wasn't very Savage Steve quality humor. I didn't think. To be
fucking.
honest with you.
I was thinking while we were watching it, what would have made it better is if fucking the guy sat down, fucking realized he was under there, fucking decided he's gonna fuck with him,
Yeah.
and fucking just took a pencil out or something, fucking burrowed a hole into the fucking seat, and then just sat down. He had to rip it open a little bit more, and then fucking he just shat on him. Like that would have been a great.
Yeah, I mean that's what it
scene.
should have been. But like the guy ended up having diarrhea and like it just all like seeped through. Or you could even do it like he shit through the thing, but it was like the mesh of the chair. It was like slowly dripping, and he's like, no, trying to get out. You know.
Fucking, he had a death wish. He was like, I'm gonna shit through the chair, through it. Fucking, you see the wall, go through it, like the
See
guys that do that shit.
Yeah,
Fucking.
see the wall go through it.
There's so many jokes I feel like I missed that I'm seeing and I'm just like, oh, I missed that. I missed that.
And so here we have the crew is basically eating dinner at Joel David Murray's grandma's house, and the best joke here is that she gives them a bill for the food she made for them.
and they actually pay it. Like,
Yeah. Well, what's funny is like 8 of them ate dinner there, and the bill was like for $15. Like I get it was 1986, but still.
Fucking the economy,
Yeah.
I guess.
We're back to the cartoons, and there's like a sexy ass cat with hard nipples.
Yeah, he keeps having these little fucking daydreams,
Mm.
or like he's seeing this character he drew with it. See, if Tom Green would have stuck to the motif, we would have saw more X-Ray Cat. Well, we kind of did through the first like act where he's trying to sell his cartoon, but then we never see X-Ray Cat again. I think we needed more X-Ray Cat personally.
Oh, we did. Because then
I
we
think
just got the family that had hooves.
You can't fucking expect Tom Green to be fucking completely like galaxy brained. We all have, flaw. Like he can be 1080 IQ, not like 1082. Fucking, you just gotta understand this shit. But yeah, now he's got a date. I laughed at this scene.
I know. This is some more hijinks. Like the blonde Stacy he wants to be with, who like we really don't know why at first, but we kind of figure out that she's just going out. The blonde is just going out with Cusack to make her whatever boyfriend jealous. And on the way, like they're driving by, and there's like a big puddle in the road, and Demi Moore's standing there hitchhiking, and they just splash the shit out of her for no reason.
Exactly, and she added insult to injury, fucking all of that, because like he looked out, and fucking she knows it was him. Now she just thinks like he fucking did that on purpose. Like, hey, you want to ride? And then just splashed a bunch of fucking water on her, and then he didn't say, oh fuck, sorry, like. He turned around and he's like, that was a friend of mine. And she's just like, oh, I don't pick up hitchhikers. Fucking, I would have had to, what would you have done in that situation? I wouldn't have been able to drive away. It's like, oh, you're going to have to let me out.
Well, he was so embarrassed, like he kind of tried to cover his face when they splashed her. He's like, oh shit, like, I mean, yeah, like, I guess he just was going along with it. Like, I don't know what I would have done. But, oh yeah, they're at the drive-in now. They're seeing Chainsaw Date and Hemorrhoids from Hell. Those are the 2 movies playing.
Did Savage Street, I keep wanting to say Savage Streets. Did our boy Savage Steve? Did he make this fake movie they're watching, or is it a fake movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a fake movie. He'd have to. Yeah, I like how he's hiding in the bushes here in the car because he doesn't want to get beat up by her boyfriend.
She's got a houseplant in her car.
And he's got a safari hat and sunglasses he brought.
Fucking, it works. It works. Fucking somehow I believe that they won't see him because of that.
Yeah. like I don't know why. Like I feel like the drive-in should have been like a bigger part of the movie. Like
fucking drive-in's always fun in the movies.
I know. Like it's actually cooler in the movies than it is in real life.
They even included the whole fucking "Let's go to the drive-in, let's go to the drive-in," whatever that little song was.
Yeah,
Now you don't have to go to the drive-in to watch it. You can watch it in the movie One Crazy Summer.
exactly. You can just
Fucking
play it
chat.
on. You can A/B it if you got one of them players.
Exactly. You remember like growing up having to use weird things to masturbate to because you didn't have access to
Oh
pornography?
yeah,
I remember fucking A to Bing it a lot and jacking off to
really?
like just this, just like random little clips,
Yeah,
little things you could get your nugget off to, little things you can get your nugget off to.
I'm sure I did it too. I don't quite remember, but I guarantee you I did it at least once or twice.
You gotta love the guy. You called him Bobcat Goldthwait. Is the fucking H silent?
I don't
Because
know. I never thought about it.
some people I hear call him Goldthwait, and I'm
Mm.
like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I always remember him being called Goldthwait.
The girl in the movie is a Stacy though. In the fake movie they're watching the drive-in, it looks like Catherine Keener, but I don't know if it is. But yeah, I remember looking at like the whatever, like just little Sears inserts of like the Sunday paper that would come in the section that had like the women like in the bras and panties.
Mm-hmm.
That was a go-to when you were desperate.
Now, I noticed that this guy, this is the perfect character that our boy from the first movie, Better Off Dead, he could have played fucking the guy, the feet guy from Nickelodeon. Everybody talks about. He could have came back and played that character, but he did not return. Was he mad about how fucking Savage Steve made him look in the movie too? You made me look like a fool. Now I'm gonna have to run away and make a television show for kids.
Oh,
Never
that guy. He probably was just doing head of the class at the time. He probably just
Might have.
didn't have time to come back.
Exactly. Is this the scene you were talking about?
Yeah,
Barry?
so like the Stork brothers, like they have a part-time job working on the movie. Our boy Taylor Negron's here. He played the mailman in Better Off Dead.
And fucking the guy who's disabled in fucking Biodome, one of the greatest films of all time.
Exactly. He was disabled and delivering pizzas. But
Mentally disabled, not he was able to work still.
yeah. But the Stork brothers, they work on the movie part-time. And Bobcat, he goes in the prop truck, and for some reason they have a Godzilla costume in the prop truck, even though it's a movie about a killer or a mentally retarded dolphin. For some reason they just have a spare Godzilla suit, so he puts it on, and it's like so Godzilla, the costume, that's like, how did they not get sued for that? Because it clearly the face, everything, you know what I mean?
I love how they make it like, oh no, he's not really going around destroying the little city. It's because fucking somebody threw their cigar and it went into his. I love that
Yeah.
shot of the girl. She looks so.
I know, the little kid.
She had the most awkward smile on her face. It's almost like Savage. She was like, "Fucking, make it more awkward. Like, make it look like I'm trying to make you smile, and it's not, make it look unnatural. Like, because it's like that's gonna be the funniest fucking shot in the movie if you get it just right.
Yeah.
You
And
get a
the-
kid that looks like they're just terrible at acting.
And don't you think like the little girl, the sister, is kind of like the substitute for the little brother in
Yes.
Better Off Dead? How like it even looks like it could be that kid's sister. Like they're both like little redheaded kids.
The fucking Stacy that is just dripping off the screen right now.
Yeah,
There's
like
so
I just started
much.
drooling out of my mouth for some reason. I wonder if it was because of Demi Moore.
Fucking, I don't know if it was drool or if I was coming out of my mouth like our boy Eddie Furlong
Oh,
does.
by the way, we got to get back on. We made a commitment and we didn't live up to our word of covering Furlong classics from here on in.
Fucking, we did. We need to. There's so many to think of. There's
So
like what?
many.
There's like two more that are good.
You know which ones that's actually really good that like nobody, because you know how everybody talks about American History X.
Mhm.
There's actually one that's like pretty much the same, but came out a couple years before. He was in Little Odessa, where he's the little brother of Tim Roth, who's a Russian hitman. It's pretty
He's
good.
Odessa's brother, and he's Little Odessa. I thought that's what
He
you were
is a
gonna say.
little Odessa, yeah. Yeah, so here we have it, of course, Bobcat, like, they play it off like when he put the Godzilla head on, like he got stuck on and like he can't see in it, so he's just wandering around. And then there's like the giant model of the town, and you're like, oh, I wonder what's coming here. Which, by the way, that was my favorite part of this movie. Like, in my mind, I thought half the movie was like
Jesus.
That bag of popcorn.
The bag of popcorn. Both times when I watched it, he throws it at you, and I literally want to grab it and start eating it. Like, fucking, this is a perfect movie to just chow down on some popcorn and watch.
I don't know why, but some of my local theaters used to not pop the popcorn at the snack bar. They like popped it in a bag, like a back room, and brought it to the snack bar. And they used to bring in those clear plastic bags like that. It always looked so gross because like you would see the guy just dragging it on the ground, and because it was so big and heavy. I
think you got sidetracked. You were saying something before I got distracted by the popcorn.
I don't know.
You might have forgot.
I can't remember. There's just so much Kino going on here.
There is. It is oozing off the fucking screen, like fucking cum seeping through the screen.
Yeah.
We got the guy that played fucking the original Andre Toulon from fucking Puppet Master.
William Hickey here. He had that great voice like this.
He's literally amazing.
Yeah. I like
it. He threw a cigar in the fucking dinosaur's mouth, and it looks like he's got fire breath coming out.
Yeah. But I don't even think he saw him there. I think he just was trying to throw it in the bushes.
Well, we like to think that, but I think he orchestrated all this.
What's funny is the mouth of like the thing is like not even really open. Like there's teeth, so there's no way the cigar could even get down there. But yeah, here's Bobcat. He stomps the town. He's got the fire breath. He's got the Godzilla costume, and
there's an Asian dude who was really happy. He's like, "Oh fuck, you guys put all this together for me. This is fucking awesome."
That guy was a big Chad too, because he played the sidekick in what is it called? Big Trouble in Little China. I didn't realize this the last time when I watched this the other night, that the girl ate that giant bag of popcorn because they show her just finishing it off right there. How is she that hungry?
Fucking, you got a hearty, fucking, well, what did he say? Fucking, you didn't notice it, but he fucking, he even pointed out the joke. But like, I don't think I noticed it either until you just pointed it out. But like, I probably would have done the same thing.
But
popcorn looks so good.
By the way, the special effect of the superimposed drive-in screen was actually really good. I kept looking at the edges the whole time, and like it never really like wavered the way superimposed shit. You ever notice that like in old movies, like they superimpose whatever the people are watching on the TV?
I noticed that too, and it's like, yeah, it is good. Did they just actually film it on a projector and film it? I was like, I don't think so.
No, it was too like clear. If you would have filmed it, there's no way because when you go to the drive-in, even now, even with the digital projectors, like they're never like that bright looking or that clear looking,
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the shutter effect would show up if you filmed it with another film camera, because the films are shot. On 35 or what's the
24 frames, 24 and then it's filming, so it should be technically synced.
Yeah,
at the same frame rate.
I don't know if they've ever tried it. It's always something that seems like they do in post production. Probably because they don't know what they want to show on the film.
Well, that too, and it's just it. But I know with the TV thing, it's because the TVs would be at 30 frames. And then like the camera would be at 24 frames, so if you filmed it, that's when you would see the flicker.
Exactly.
And also too, just if you really wanted the people to be able to actually look at it, it's just not going to look very good. I remember as a kid, I like going through family photos. I took a bunch of terrible photos where I was trying to take a picture of whatever was on TV, and then it was always like the flash would like blur out like half of the glass of like, especially because like the TVs like when I was a kid. They had the glass screen, the old tube TVs, but they were curved as well.
Isn't that funny, the shit you had to learn the hard way as a kid? Like, you couldn't even take a picture and then realize, like, oh, yeah, that doesn't work, like, with your phone. You had to fucking, like, get it developed and shit.
You had to wait.
To find out that it looked like shit.
Well, you know what, too, is, like, somebody at the place was developing that, looking at it, going, look at this fucking picture, this dumbass kid. Doesn't even know you can't take a picture of TV.
Exactly. I remember it blew my mind when I realized that like those disposable cameras, the thing you see when you look through it isn't like even where the picture's coming out. So it's like it's gonna be like offset from what you're seeing. It's like what is the point of that? Yeah. What is the point of that?
This is before your time, Zach. But before they had those little disposable cameras, and my mom had one. They had what were called disc cameras, Kodak disc cameras, and it was like revolutionary because it could fit in your pocket or maybe like a woman's purse. But it was like a little square camera, and when you bought the film, it came on like what looked like a miniature Reelmaster disc. Like it looked like that. It was like a disc, and like the front of the camera would pop open flat, and you would put the disc down in there, and then clamp it back together, and you would take the pictures, and then you would drop the disc off at the place, and that would make your pictures. Like that shit seems so like I remember like around whenever they came out in the mid '80s, that shit seems so like, you know what I mean, like spacey.
State of the art.
Yeah. I don't even know those disposable cameras. Like when you got them, like they were made out of cardboard and some plastic. I don't even know how them fuckers worked. Because like I have some pictures from one. Like I remember me and my buddies, like whenever we wanted to take some dumb pictures, we go buy one and get it developed and all that. Like I can't believe that cheap shit actually worked.
Mm-hmm. It did. It just always looked different than you expected it would because you weren't actually seeing what you're gonna see through the picture. But apparently there are other cameras that do that. And I remember like, oh yeah, you got to actually get a special lens that has like a fucking mirror and it's designed to show you exactly what the picture's going to see. It's like, that's a feature they had to add. That wasn't something that just came. That's so weird.
Talk about weird technology.
Exactly.
So getting back to the movie, like they left the drive-in, Cusack and the blonde, and then like there was the whole hijinks of the Boy Scout troop or whatever they were on the beach, try to bandage Cusack up. He looked like a mummy. And now they ran into the bar where Demi Moore is playing, and the bully wants to beat him up for being his girlfriend. But Demi Moore kind of gets him out of the situation, says like, oh, we're going to play a game of basketball or, shoot shots or whatever.
Imagine how fucking pissed off that guy has to be, too, because he was fucking around with my girlfriend, and he's got a fucking Stacy-ass chick that plays guitar and is in a band and shit too. He's fucking around on my girl, and he's
already got
Fuck him. He had. Is that who I think it is?
Who?
He kind of looks like fucking our boy, fucking Pennywise the clown, the original guy.
Oh, Tim Curry.
No. In that one shot.
Until
it pulled out.
The way his hair was ruffled and shit.
His fucking mouth, everything.
Could you imagine if he was in it?
That would have been amazing.
Of course, he was.
I can't imagine because I literally just thought that was him.
You just saw it,
for like 3 seconds.
Well, he wouldn't have even been Pennywise at this point in time. He would have been Dr. Frankfurter.
Fucking Chad.
I don't know.
Fucking Chad. Imagine you're getting ready to fuck a beautiful Stacy with the fucking. You pull it out and it's fucking. Not only does she got a dick, she got Tim Curry's dick.
Oh, I mean, imagine that.
Fucking, I am calming my pants. She's going to bed very unsatisfied. You know what I mean? Exactly.
I love how there's such a large crowd of like preppy dorks to watch this contest going on.
Fucking, this has basketball opening vibes.
It does. Even the way it's filmed, it looks like it. So what's his name? Cusack fails the bet. She bets him $100 that the Cusack can beat him at basketball, and she just ends up taking out Mace and spraying all the bullies in the eyes so they can get away. They have like a split second they can get away.
That was a good reveal to the fucking when she asked him. They asked her a question. She basically said some weird word. They're like, "What's that?"
She said Dow.
Dow. The Dow Jones.
Mm-hmm. Which was really Dow Chemical. That was like the big chemical company back then.
Was that who made fucking Mace?
I don't know. Maybe they did, but I doubt that they made Mace. They made like household cleaning products. They made like roach spray and shit.
And then it started playing the Born to Be Wild. There's good song choices. Our boy, he realized that fucking a part of the movie's budget is fucking the budget you're gonna spend on that soundtrack, because that had to have cost a lot of money.
Exactly.
To get songs like that.
You wanted to talk about all the films that this film influence later down the line. This was a big influence on the film Wayne's World, because in both movies there's a hot Stacy named Cassandra who plays in a band. So there you go.
Amazing. Who did it better? I can't even tell. I couldn't tell you.
It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, actually.
They're both very Stacy, very Cassandra.
And they're still both very Stacy to this day. So
hell yes.
Very underrated Stacy.
Savage Steve, Fountain of Youth. What'd I say?
He kind his camera gazes upon you, and you stay young forever.
Exactly. He's that fucking weird guy with the camera you want to come take your picture.
Yeah.
All the Stacy's.
You're
just
actually
like,
craving that he does.
fucking, you're hoping he asks you to come back to his studio apartment. Like, fucking, oh, I just want to take a couple shots. You got an interesting look.
Yeah, so like I guess the last thing he really did after this, a few years after it, and I think it was like a more lower budget movie, was that movie How I Got Into College, which I'm gonna have to track it down, but I don't really remember it.
Hell yeah, fucking, I need to see it too. For some reason, I was thinking, didn't he go on to do like Disney Channel shows, like
Yeah, well,
TV movies?
in between this and the How I Got Into College, he directed a bunch of episodes of The New Adventures of Beans Baxter, which I know nobody remembers like Beans Baxter, but it was like my favorite show as a kid. It was one of the very first Fox shows, and it was about this like 15, 16-year-old kid who like his dad was a secret agent, so, and like some shit happens. I can't remember, his dad got killed or what, but so he becomes a secret agent. And he has like these like gadgets and shit. And like it really, like the kid's name was Beans Baxter, but like for some reason like the show had an animated logo of like a bean with arms and legs, looked very much like the Savage Steve cartoons from these movies.
This man is so fucking Kino. He did it before fucking Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah,
Fucking Frankie Fernandez, whatever the fuck your name is, ripping off our boy.
he did a
Fucking
lot
fucking-
of shit, baby, with the Wonderful World of Disney and Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show. Now this is very sad. He did 14 episodes of VIP, that terrible show with Pam Anderson in the early 2000s. Then he did Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, Zoe 100, Phil of the Future, all that bullshit.
Zoe 101. Get it right.
What did
Get
I
it
say?
right. Zoe 100.
Oh,
You need to get the number right.
that's the prequel.
101.
Yeah.
It's like 101 Dalmatians. The fact that they make a joke out of just an ugly dog is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It is kind of next to like making a joke about an ugly kid. Maybe that is where our boy Tom Green, because he's just ripping off this movie, he got the idea for the kid that always gets hurt. It's like, oh, they made an ugly dog joke. You don't make ugly dog jokes. That's like making ugly kid jokes. I'll fucking kill a kid in my movie. I see through everything he's doing.
No, I think
Thomas.
this was genius, though. This is kind of my favorite thing in the movie is because he's a cartoonist and Demi Moore needs to like raise some money, and she's playing gigs at this local bar, but nobody's showing up. So they actually make a cartoon trailer or commercial, and they go to the drive-in with their own projector and project it on like the corner of the drive-in screen that she's going to be playing at this thing. And like everybody actually gets pissed at them. Like they throw popcorn and be like, "Hey, you're fucking up our movie." But then apparently it works because everybody goes to see the concert.
That probably wouldn't work as well as it did in the movie. It probably wouldn't look like much of anything. Seeing two pictures over each other, it definitely wouldn't look as clear as they had it.
Well, especially if you're projecting something on top of something that's already projected, it's kind of like the beams are meeting. Like,
Yeah.
they like I honestly don't know what it would look like, but I don't think like one would just completely cover the other one up. You know,
The light they had in their little home movie projector looked even brighter than the movie.
Yes.
Fucking, I don't think that would work like that.
I like how the bully dad answers the door and like zips up his pants and looks around and like all suspicious, like he was clearly just jacking off in his house.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
He could have been doing a pee-pee.
But why would he be so guilty afterwards?
Fucking, he's just mad that you called him while he was taking a pee-pee.
He's like, I was peeing in here.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like I missed so much about this movie. I'm kind of excited to
there's
watch it.
like I just watched it the other night, and there's a lot that I'm like, damn. I like this too, where like the bully dad has the son like right behind this like target with lobsters on it. He's gonna shoot it with the bow or the crossbow, but it's like even he hits the thing, it still could go through and hit the sun. It seems like.
Fucking so Kino. I remember my dad used to have a crossbow.
Really?
Pretty Chad. Hell yes.
Did you ever get to shoot it?
Never.
I remember when I was a kid, like a crossbow was like the coolest ninja weapon. For Christmas, I got like this little toy crossbow that shot these like little hard darts. Like it wasn't just like a cheap plastic thing. Like it was like a hard, like kind of almost like aluminum thing, and like it shot that shit hard. Like clearly a toy that would never be made today. But I played with that for years.
Fucking, I remember my dad used to have like a couple weird things like that because like he was an ex-felon and he was like, fucking, I can't have a gun, so now I want one because they told me I can't have one.
So he was gonna get like the closest thing.
He's like, I never wanted one until they told me I couldn't have one. So he got that. He eventually got a gun. He probably got it illegally. That was my dad. That was my dad. There was a reason he went to prison in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know how those laws work, but I bet there's probably some kind of like time period, probably wears off or something.
Exactly. It's kind of weird that we take guns away from people because they're felon. That is a little weird.
Which just makes them like kind of do more crime by probably getting a gun illegally. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's only weird in American standard. Everywhere else, it's weird that fucking we wouldn't do that.
Well, what's weird too is there's a lot of people that actually like they want to kill people, so they go and buy guns to kill people, and but just because they don't have like what do you call it, like a criminal record, like the guy who shot all the people in the Batman movie, it's just like. Yeah. He's like clearly mentally disturbed. He's like in the care of all these psychiatrists and shit. And they're like, yeah, just give him a gun. He don't have a record. It's weird. But then somebody else is like, you stole a car. Like you can't have a gun. It's like, okay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I guess we should talk about our boy here, the brothers here. Bobcat plays, Egg and Clay Stork. Bobcat, who's in full Bobcat Police Academy mode, and Bobcat in general, he's like, but his boy Tom Villard was on a cool sitcom I liked as a kid called We Got It Made, which is about these two horny guys who just hire this like super hot like Playboy playmate to be their what do you call it, their maid, even though like she has no experience, and like literally like, and it got criticized too because it was like, oh, like the only reason for this show is to show this woman in like, you know, skimpy t-shirts and shorts and shit.
It sounds amazing. It sounds better than the idea I had, because when you said it's called We Got It Made, and it's about these two guys, it's like the first thing that popped in my head is like they realized the cheat code. It's like, we don't gotta get pussy at all. We could just close our eyes and pretend like I can just close my eyes and pretend like your butt is like we could do it that way, and like fucking that is a great idea for a movie, and then like you ruined it by telling me what it actually was.
Well, you could do that thing where you do like a modern day movie adaptation of like an old TV show, and like it has nothing to do with the old TV show. You could do that.
We could.
Cusack falling down the stairs for no reason. But yeah, but like the show was so awesome. Like it came on 1983. Like on NBC, and the people were like, "Oh, this is just terrible. Take this off the air." You know, just this woman's always like skimpily clad or whatever. So they they canceled it after a year. Check this out. So like by the time like he had done this movie, Tom Villard, like and he was always popping up comedy roles. He was in Grease too, a bunch of other movies. I think the last movie I saw was Popcorn. He was also in Shakes the Clown with Bobcat Goldthwait. But so the show was off the air for 4 years, and somebody was like, "Let's bring it back." It got canceled after one season, so they brought it back as a syndicated show. You know how like Baywatch got canceled and came back syndicated, it was on for years. They brought it back as a syndicated show. They couldn't get the one guy back. They got Tom Villard back, and they got the hot girl back, Terry Copley, who Terry Copley was the girl that our boy Evil kidnapped at the drive-in, coincidentally enough. That was a young Terry Copley. That's how stagey she was. So they brought the show back after like 4 years on syndication. They're like, "Oh yeah, this ain't working." It like because the same criticism, all the critics, "Oh, this show just made to show this woman all sexy, whatever." So they canceled it. I'm like, okay, like you know the show wasn't a hit the first time, right? And you know the only reason it existed was to show a sexy woman with like some goofball guys or whatever. And then you bring it back for that reason, and they're like, "Oh, they're criticizing us again for it. We got to shut it down."
What they let the criticism of that shitty criticism, that fucking the movie This Is Spinal Tap told you how to fucking win.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being sexy? That's all you had to say. There's nothing wrong with being sexy. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing shameful about it.
Exactly. If you want to watch this hot steak, you can watch it. You don't have to. There's other channels.
Yeah. So to get back at the bully, they steal his dad's lobster truck full of lobsters. They dump the lobsters in a swimming pool, which I'm sure the chlorine would probably kill them like instantly. But anyway, like they go in and it's just all for this joke where the guy and then the girl gets pulled in too. Like they play the Jaws theme and like he's getting bit by lobsters and you see him trying to climb out and he's covered in plastic lobsters and shit. This was some of the silliest shit in the movie to me personally.
It is. It is. Like, so much of this movie just seems like a fucking dream. Like, I forgot that happened in this movie. It was just, like, I just watched it. It's like fucking, it's so all over the place. I wish I had, like, fucking, I wish I had as much time as I had with Better Off Dead. Exactly. I feel like I'd be less fucking scatterbrained here, baby.
You know what's really weird was, like, I was all about Better Off Dead, like, as soon as it came out, like, from the TV commercials and shit. And, like, I can't remember if I got my mom to take me to the theater to see it or not, but, like, I think she did. She took me, like, some afternoon. It was playing up the street from us. So, like, I was, like, always all about Better Off Dead. I didn't even really know about this movie for some reason. Like, I don't really remember it coming out. I just remember on HBO catching it and, like, watching it all the time. But like, as a dumb kid, even though, like, they're almost, like, identical movies starring the same guy, directed by the same guy, same cartoon bullshit interweaved through it, I never put two and two together for a long-ass time till, like, the internet age when I was reading about Savage Steve, and I was like, oh, shit, the same guy did both movies, which I don't know, even as a kid, I should have put two and two together, because it was, like, these movies are, like, identical, you know what I mean?
You know, the only thing that's stopping this movie from being a 10... right out of the gate is fucking we needed another scene with it, like he could have just made him a reoccurring character. The fucking hamburger could just show up and play another song.
The fucking
like
hamburger.
It just cuts to a quick shot of him playing in her band or something.
Or they're getting like hamburgers like at the beginning where they're like on the road trip and they walk away, like, you know, their plates are there on the counter or whatever, and then you see the hamburger pop up with his guitar.
I like my idea better. Yeah. I like my idea better. He's just in the band. And
then, like, the hamburger's in the band.
And it's even funnier because if people didn't see the original, they're just like, why is the hamburger playing? It's like, it fits with the movie, though, I guess.
No, I didn't understand this. Like, was Bobcat impersonating Elvis? Like, he shows up in kind of like 50s clothes at the concert, and he's got a wig on, but it's not really like a pompadour wig. It's like almost like a beehive wig or something. Like his hair's like all combed forward.
He looks like fucking a flannel shirt wearing greaser from fucking, like, he's gonna show up and fucking pull out his fucking switchblade, fucking ask for your lunch money and shit.
By the way, I think it's hilarious that Bobcat, like, would get grumpy, like, years later when people would want him to talk and act like Bobcat Goldthwait. When, like, he never changed his name. He was always still Bobcat Goldthwait. He did multiple movies, like, completely different film franchises where he talked the same and acted exactly the same. And then he's just like, why do you fucking assholes want me to keep doing the same shit over and over and over? Get over it.
Yeah, that probably, like, oh, that was a character I created to do that, but because it was just his name, it was just like people just assumed. It's like, you can't,
because clearly he was born in the hospital and his parents on the birth certificate put Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like, you can't, like, they probably just never thought about it like that, but it's like, fucking, I can see him looking in someone's eyes like, fucking, you thought that character I played on stage, like, you thought I just acted like that in real life? Or what, are you stupid?
Yeah, are you a fucking moron? Even though your childhood was filled with going to trip after trip to your local cinema to see me do the exact same shit in multiple films. What, you thought that was the real fucking guy driving around all day? Like,
you think like that's how I sound when I'm fucking my girl and shit like that, when I'm intimate, like fucking with all the sweet nothings and whispering shit like I'm with my wife or whatever, with the kids, and like, in a way you would feel stupid, like, because it's like, yeah, I didn't really think about it like that, Mr. Bobcat, but fucking I guess it does sound ridiculous now.
I'm so sorry, I apologize. I think he's kind of an asshole, though, because, like, there was a podcast called the Creative Screenwriting Podcast, I think was the name of it, and this guy, Jeff Gold, and I listened to this guy interview dozens of people, and, like, the guy was, like, a cool guy. He was, like, kind of like a fanboy type guy, and he would interview mostly directors and writers about their shit. And he had Bobcat on, and, like, he kind of just wanted to talk about Bobcat's early career before he became... I love the animal hospital here where the dog's pushing the cat in a fucking wheelchair.
They have the bad guy kick the ugly dog.
Yeah. For no reason.
Just to make it... Just because he's the bad guy. We gotta hate him.
But
Kicks the dog.
this guy Jeff Goldthwait, and he's like was bringing up his early career, and he's like you starred in this movie Hot to Trot, and Bobcat got pissed and didn't want to talk about it, and he's like, oh, okay, he's like, whatever, like, and the whole, it was like an hour-long interview, and like Bobcat was pissed the whole time. He's just like they tried to move on. They were talking about other stuff, and then Bobcat's like, "Why don't you just fucking ask me about Hot to Trot again?" Like I guess he hated that movie or whatever. And that's the thing is like you don't know when people make 30 movies in their career like which ones they hate and which they know they don't. And he's just like, "Yeah, you fucking asshole, just ask me about Hot to Trot." And like the guy was like apologizing. Like first he was laughing, thinking it's Bobcat, he's doing a bit, but like no, he's fucking pissed the whole time. And I'm just like, what can you ask about this guy? You know what I mean?
You should, if you have things like that, you should probably make it very clear before.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask me anything about that one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see being mad at. I don't want to make excuses for him. Like, fucking maybe he is an asshole. I don't know, but like, I can see him being mad about Hot to Trot.
Yeah, Hot to. Which, by the way, I remember when I was a kid. And the trailers for Hot to Trot, for people who don't know, Hot to Trot is a movie, I think, from like around 1987. I think it was Bobcat's first starring role. He was just kind of a supporting player in all these movies and Police Academy series. It's about a guy, like, I don't know the exact setup, but it's like a guy who's like really like unqualified to run this like big corporation. And he's like starts out in the mailroom or some shit, but somehow he meets a talking horse, and the horse like tells him everything how to run this company, so he becomes like the president of this company. And like in his office he's got this fucking talking horse who's like telling him how to do everything, but he's got to pretend like he's like the real president of the company, even though the horse is like doing all the shit. And I remember as a
horse helps him become a better stockbroker is the plot of this movie.
I thought he was a stockbroker. Like he tells him which stocks to bet on and all that shit.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and like
such a stupid movie.
I remember, this movie came out. I was about 10 years old, and it was like, oh my god, Hot to Try. We gotta fucking see it. Like all my friends, Hot to Try, And I remember like going to see it or renting. I can't remember when I saw it, and I remember like just being so disappointed, even as like a fucking 10-year-old kid.
It's just like, how is this not funny?
How is this not only like, how is this not funny? How is this not the best fucking movie you've ever seen? You know what I mean?
John Candy as a talking horse, Bobcat Goldthwait, a plot that ridiculous. It is. It's just like, it's very forgettable.
Yeah.
It's just kind
of course, you probably watch it now, and it's probably like the best fucking thing you've ever seen compared to the shit we get now.
Possible. I did get it on Vudu recently. I was like excited. I was like, "Fuck, this ain't out on Blu-ray, man." Hot to Try.
You thought you was getting a gem. You probably got it on sale for only $18.99 or some shit.
Something like that, yeah. I went all out for this one because it's like it's not even got a Blu-ray, and I want to see it. I got to see this.
Hot to Try. Like the guy from the Police Academy movies. Like this. Oh fuck, it's gonna be so good.
Fucking, I hope it shows the horse's cock at least once.
Oh yeah.
Just like fucking in another great film coming up again, Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, they should just remake Hot to Trot, but this time with Tom Green.
They should
this time. Yeah.
That would be amazing, actually.
It would be. And like the joke of the movie is, in order to get the stock tips from him, he's got to hold his cock the whole time to make him talk. Exactly. Like that's how you talk.
That's how they get the magic to work.
Yeah.
Like he can only talk whenever you're stroking his dick. He can only talk when he's coming. Even that would even be funny.
You know what'd be great? You know how like the old days, like I don't think they've had this for a long time, but like the old movies, they would show the stock market. They had the ticker tape thing. Like those guys would be sitting on a machine, like where those long like strings of paper would come out with all like the numbers and shit on it. That's what the horse does. He comes the paper off his dick, and then they read it off of that.
When we are president, we are going to mandate day one that fucking every studio, every branch of the Marvel universe gives Tom Green at least $8 million, at least, because I want to see him get creative. Yeah, and he's got to make at least one film for him.
Yeah, when you and me are president, we're going to mandate way better movies be made than Trump and Biden have.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. They've mandated zero. They have that ultimate power. They haven't used it at all.
That's an executive power that's been wasted.
They don't know what really matters. These idiots.
The president that mandated a movie was Obama. Remember that movie South Side with You? You ever see that?
I didn't know any president ever mandated a movie.
I think it even came out while he was still in office too. There's a movie, and I'm not shitting you. It was like kind of like it wasn't like a big movie, like it didn't make tons of money. It was like an independent movie, but it got lots of press because everybody's interested in it. It's called South.
I gotta be honest. I would mandate people make movies a lot.
I would probably be doing it every week.
You'd be
maybe
making
every
movies.
day. Yeah.
You'd be making sequels to some of my favorite films. I want Bill and Ted 4. Fucking all this Kino shit.
But
I'm sorry, I talked over you.
No, I was just explaining because like it seemed like normal at the time when it came out, whatever 6-7 years ago. But now that I look at it, it's fucking weird. There's this movie called Southside with You, and it's a movie. Like I'm not shitting you. The whole movie is about like it portrays like the first date between Barack and Michelle Obama.
Oh, it's like a fucking a biopic or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a biopic, but obviously it's made up because I mean, who really knows the details of their first date? You know what I mean?
You get to fucking. That's why you got to be all 8-head. You realize that people are gonna mythologize you anyway. Just get the leg up. Just fucking. If you get to direct the movie about your life, fucking do what Dave Chappelle did in that skit. Just fucking literally. It doesn't even matter.
Which one? Which skit from
Oh,
Chappelle
you don't
Show?
see that joke would have landed if you remember. Fucking he did a skit where it's like fucking I made the biopic of me, and it's like it's got him coming out. He's a baby, and the baby's got a huge dick.
Oh, okay.
Like jokes like that. It's just fucking. It's just ridiculous.
I guess we should say at this point in time, like they did the concert, they got the money to save Cassandra's house. But then the bank's like, oh, you have the money, but like, sorry, we already sold the house to that bully guy, so that's why he kicked the dog. And now the bully's son brings his car into the, like they build this boat. They're like, oh, like the next scheme we'll do to save Cassandra's house is we'll win the regatta race or whatever, the boat race. So like they like drug a sank boat up that was like shitty and falling apart. They remade it, but then they're like, oh, we don't have an engine. And the bully brings in his Ferrari and he punches Tom Villard. Which I forgot to say, Tom Villard is passed away in 1994 at the age of 40. I think he was one of the first celebrities to kind of pass away of AIDS, if I'm remembering correctly. So the bully comes and punches Tom Villard in the face. So like they get mad and they take a chainsaw to his car, and like it cuts to the boat race. And like they don't say, but didn't you figure out exactly what they had done to get the engine, Zach?
They fucking filled it with their cane.
Yeah, the engine. Which, by the way, this is another like weird thing. Like you ever notice when you're a young kid, Zach, and movies you love it for weird reasons. I love this movie for the Godzilla suit, and then because they had a Yodi plush doll on the front of their boat. I thought that was so fucking cool. Because like Yodi was like the shit in the '80s. Like Garfield was old hat, so the animator guy came up with Yodi, the dumb dog, and they put like this Yodi plush on the front of their boat.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And there was a scene where Demi Moore and John Cusack had sex in just some random person's boat. And did you notice the star that flew across on the skyline? When
I didn't.
They were floating. And also too, like when Tom Villard pulled that Ferrari into the garage and like in the scene. Like, he forgot to put the e-brake on, so he started to get out of the car, and it started to roll back, and he reached down and put it, yanked the emergency brake on, and that was the take they used in the movie.
Fuck you, Chad.
We gotta talk about this fucked up shit. So they have the Yodi plush, and it has a big, like, felt tongue hanging out of its mouth, because that's how Yodi was. He was just a dumb dog. So the bully, like, he reaches over, like, their boat cruises up to the bully's boat. He reaches over with scissors. He cuts the Yodi tongue off, and then he gives it to Jeremy Piven. What does Jeremy Piven do with this, like, 6-7 inch felt dog tongue?
Fucking, he starts sucking it, right?
He sucks it, and then he eats it and swallows it.
Fucking
I thought that was
Chad.
so fucking weird when I watched this other night. I was like, I didn't remember that part. I was like,
You know what's so funny? This motherfucker, this guy, fucking Savage Steve, is 8,000 IQ because he knew someday you were going to be asking that, and I was going to be like, man, I don't remember the scene. I'm just going to guess. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to play it off like I was joking, and I guessed right.
no, he really sucked on it for a second, and then he ate it. He ate a piece of a plush animal.
Literally.
Jeremy Piven.
This movie is fucking, it knows. Fucking, everybody knows. Our boy fucking, exactly, Savage Steve. He's the Illuminati puppet. He's one of them.
So this boat regatta is kind of weird. It's like 3 stretches. The first stretch, you actually have to paddle your boat. Like, you need a crew of like 8 or 9 guys to paddle the boat. The second stretch, which is like pretty quick off, you have to raise your sails, you go by wind, and then the last stretch, you have to actually kick in your electric engine.
Oh yeah, I gotta say that really did blow my mind. I feel like my babysitters used to feel when they'd be watching the fucking David Copperfield the specials. They'd be doing that thing. Well, put your finger on this card, and then he turns around at the end. It's like, was I your card? And they're like, oh my god, holy shit! I literally did just think Savage Steve fucking predicted my life.
He just unfurled it all for you right there.
He did.
Which Savage Steve must have been a Rocky and Bullwinkle Moose fucking fan, because like early on, first Curtis Armstrong's wearing a Rocky shirt, then he's wearing a Bull Moose shirt, and then part of the guy's wacky boat is like they just use old blankets and bed sheets to make their mask, and one was like a giant Bullwinkle blanket. Did you see that?
I did. Fucking our boy. Did he just say? Did he just say what I thought he said? The dialogue in this movie. This is the dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, the bully dad.
He said he called him highly regarded, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He called him highly, or no, was he talking about the dolphin there? He might have been talking.
He was talking about the dolphin. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's okay then. He wasn't saying it about a person. Well, he wasn't being dehumanizing when
No, he was talking about a animatronic dolphin. So this is where Savage Steve is a great filmmaker. Is like, you know how they always say great filmmaking is when you show a gun in the first act of the movie, which means in the third act that gun has to go off. We saw the bully dad's crossbow, so now he used it on their boat. He used his crossbow to the arrow cut their sails apart, and like this was a great. This is pretty much John Cusack's character arc. His name is Hoops, and he's terrible at basketball. But in order to fix the sail here, they find like a little metal ball, and he puts the string of the mast on there, and he has to shoot it up into the hoop, and he gets it slow motion on the first try. Like, did you find that to be an uplifting character arc right there?
Fucking very uplifting. His entire arc made sense with this. We needed this. This reminded me of the same thing I mentioned with Better Off Dead, where it seemed like fucking he took this weird movie he had to a studio and they said, you got to put shit like this in it. Where like, oh yeah, just add like, oh they're doing a ski trip and then it's like a thing for him to overcome. Yeah. And then Savage Steve just like fucking whatever, he just do it.
Because in order to make your movie, you got to do the formula. Yeah. Like if you do the formula, you can put all your weird shit in there that we don't like. Because I think both studios, because I think Better Off Dead was Fox and this was Warner Brothers. I think he had a little bit more trouble with Warner Brothers, but yeah, it's just like we'll ignore all your like weird off the cuff humor if you give us the teen formula.
Give us some way to sell this. Like, we need something to put on the poster.
Yeah.
Like, something to get the kids interested, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't want to see, like, just some weird fucking oddball. Fucking what the fuck is happening? Tom Green before his time type shit here.
So, 11 months ago, baby, our loyal listener, big shout out to @AndyMC96. Can you guys please do One Crazy Summer? And I replied 11 months ago, we are hoping to do that one in the future, probably next summer. Did I keep my promise or what, baby?
You did. And I feel like I was useless because it's like, fucking, this movie is so new to me. It's just like, I feel like I'm just peeling down one layer of the banana, and like I need to watch it like 8,000 more times to understand it, like I fucking like I have with Better Off Dead.
Well, it's kind of weird, like and I guess we can, like, once the movie wraps up, we can kind of compare the two movies. But like I think the main difference is, even though the humor is the same and the main characters are very similar and all the cartooning and shit that's going on, I feel like Better Off Dead is like way easier to follow as a story. Whereas like this story, there's like a lot of time spent on wacky humor, but the plot points like fly by. Like I even had to rewind a couple scenes to recatch the dialogue to really understand like what was going on. Like, it's a basic concept, but like all the shit with like Demi Moore's house, like that was the main shit I rewind. I was like, what? Like who? Like, okay, what are they trying to do? Like,
maybe
it flies by.
Maybe that's more of the thing with the studio. They're like, hey, you got to put something resembling a plot. He's like, okay, I'll make it go by real fast. No one will even notice it.
Yeah. And this is great. The bully dad, like, he was going to shoot them again with the arrow to fuck their boat up, But instead, the boat got bumped. He fell in, and it's like a Jaws homage. He gets ate, and it's the highly regarded dolphin eating him. But then the fin pops open of the thing because, you know, just like Bruce the shark was, it was just, you know, a submarine type thing, a mechanical thing. Who's inside the dolphin? It's the little sister came and saved them.
Wouldn't you have shat your pants if it was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, inside the dolphin?
Hey, it's just one quick shot there. They could refilm real quick and insert into the movie. Yeah. By the way, how did Savage Steve not direct an early Jim Carrey vehicle? That would have been perfect.
He would have been the person to get, yeah. In an alternate world, fucking Jim Carrey is starring in this movie and Better Off Dead.
Exactly. All right, so now here comes the big showstopper of the film's act. They're at the leg of the race where you have to start up your electrical engines. And what do these guys do that just blows the mind? It's like 8-head level.
I'm gonna try the same thing I did earlier when I guessed. Fucking, they're gonna come inside of the engine and use their cum energy to win the race.
Even better, they set off an explosive that blows off the back of the boat, and it reveals their engine for their rotor is actually the Ferrari engine. And it's got actually the ass end of the Ferrari as the back with the guy's license plate and everything. So it's so obvious, even to the bully. The bully's going to know that they used his car to beat him in the race. And I was thinking, like, for this type of thing, like boat regulations, like you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't there have been some sort of standard? Like, you can't use like a super. Like, you know, everybody had to use at least like a similar engine. You know what I mean? You
think about this too logically.
You're just supposed to go with the wackiness, huh?
Fucking Savage Steve. Steve. His name is Savage.
They don't call him Savage Streets for nothing.
This motherfucker is gonna be on the Criterion Collection any day now. I don't know what the fuck's taking him so long.
Savage.
Sorry, same with Tom Green for the fucking Freddy Got Fingered.
Exactly. Savage Steve. He's better off dead in the streets. He's one crazy summer in the sheets.
Chad. Fucking big Kino cock on that. He is the Kino cocks motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be funny if fucking wouldn't that be fucking hilarious if the Criterion Collection did put out fucking Freddy Got Fingered?
Oh, that would be the best ever. That'd probably be the, you know, people go, oh, that's like a tasteless joke. Criterion's known for the finest Kino. A lot of people don't know that on Laserdisc, anything went with Criterion. They put out Halloween. They put out A Nightmare on Elm Street. They did all kinds of, you know, popular movies. Did you see the license plate on the back of the boat, baby?
I didn't.
I'm so stupid. I didn't understand what it was. I thought it was Kool-Ater. It's see you later. Like, I just realized you're supposed to. Yeah, so Joel David Murray actually ends up with the because you know the bully is like a loser now in the eyes of the town because he lost the race. So Joel David Murray ends up with the hot blonde at the end. He makes out with her. I thought this was funny that they have to towel off the little girl. So yeah, the ugly dog comes and there's 10 ugly dog puppies. Like, I had no idea that dog was a girl because I thought it had a boy's name, and also too it's like who knew it was pregnant with 1 billion puppies? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that they got a different dog to play the ugly dog at one point.
Really?
Or did they just give up on shaving the dog? Did they shave him once for one scene, and then it grew back, and they were just like, let's not shave him again. That was too much work.
Yeah. It could be. So yeah, Curtis Armstrong Booger, he went overboard because you know when the bullies were cheating, there was another boat that they hit, and the mast, they swung it around and hit some guy in the head. He was going to die, and Curtis Armstrong had to jump off his boat with John Cusack and go help the guy. So, you know, he was disowned by his father because he wasn't tough enough to join the military. But now his dad, Joe Flaherty, likes him again because he saved somebody's life and he's a hero. That's kind of a fickle ass father, huh? Love you, hate you one day, love you the next.
Exactly.
Baby, how is Revival House live right now on Twitch and you're here with me? What's going on with that?
The gang is fucking. They're playing their video games.
Their video games. You ain't got time for that shit. You got to dive deep into the Kino.
Boy's been watching too many cartoons. Fucking A-Rod's gonna hear that, and he's gonna think that's pretty funny. He's gonna think that's pretty funny. But like, hell yeah, they're trying to grow the Twitch channel, baby.
Yeah, they're obsessed with that. I was talking about the other day. These guys, the Revival House Network, they're streaming day and night. You wake up, brush your teeth, they're online playing video games. You're working all day, you can have them in the background. You go to sleep at night, they're still on there.
Motherfuckers, they don't got to work all day. They be playing a video. No, they both do. But fucking, that would be funny if like that we started actually like fucking making money for playing video games. That would be hilarious. Like I don't know what you would do in that world.
You see these two bunnies? Watch here, baby. There's a fat one with glasses, and then a tall, skinny, bald one. That's supposed to be Siskel and Ebert. Savage Steve said he was mad because they gave Better Off Dead a shitty review.
See, I would have done the same thing. I would have fucking Siskel and Ebert. People talk about you guys like you're like fucking Kino royalty and all this shit. Like we need to hear what their opinion is, and they don't even like shit like fucking Better Off Dead. Like uptight motherfuckers. I don't want to fucks with you if you don't like Better Off Dead. Like I'm being completely genuine right now.
I am too. Which, by the way, doesn't this feel like a joke? Like the movie's over. Like they've already done the shot of Demi Moore and John Cusack on the pier holding hands, kissing. Like the movie's over, and then we go in the credits and we go back to Joel Murray's uncle, who finally he calls in to the radio station he's been waiting a whole year for them to say, oh, call in and do this, and he knows the answer to the question. He wins the $1 million, but he gets so excited he pulls the phone line out of the wall and it's torn. He can't pull it back in, and he hears on the radio they just go to the next caller, and he loses the $1 million. Now what's going to happen here, baby? That's so cartoony.
This motherfucker, he is going to go to the radio station to get those tickets, and fucking he's I was gonna lead into a joke where I was just basically gonna redo the plot of like Detroit Rock City, but like fucking I couldn't keep it going long enough. I'm sorry. He actually just pulls out a rocket launcher and shoots
a bazooka. Yeah, he has a bazooka and he shoots it, and you see the rocket like it goes across the town. It feels like, and like it blows up the radio station, which is kind of just like this little shack over on a sand dune. And then the Stork brothers, Bobcat and Tom Villard, like they're pulling up in their tow truck, and they're like, "Oh, look!" And they have sticks and marshmallows ready, and like even though they could have just drove up to the fire, they jump out and they go running towards it to roast the weenies or not the weenies, the marshmallows. Yeah.
You know what? It's kind of funny. This is his second movie because in a way it kind of seems even more like they let him get away with more shit than the first movie did. Like the first movie almost seems more like
cohesive,
yeah, which is weird to make Better Off Dead seem commercial in a way.
Yeah, like funny. It's kind of weird, and like I hate to do the same thing of like I hate to do the thing of compare like a filmmaker's two films against each other, but it's just it's kind of hard not to when like the movies are so similar, you know what I mean? Like it'd be different if like he just was like, which we didn't even talk about at the end. William Hickey just shows up because the whole reason they wanted to win the race was they could trade the trophy back to the bullies, and they would hopefully give her house back. And they were like, no, we're not going to give it back. Man, fuck you. And then the grandpa of the bullies just comes up and he's like, here's your house back. He gives them the deed. He's like, I'm not going to let these assholes build this like lobster restaurant. And I thought it was so funny that the whole plot at the end would just boil down to some old man saying, these assholes, I don't care. I like you. You know what I mean?
Amazing. That is the sign of a true Kino work of art.
Yeah, but what I was saying is like it's hard not to compare these two movies that came out back to back. One came out one year and then the next year, and then on top of it, like pretty much Cusack. Like this could have been a sequel, like literally to Better Off Dead, because he's in high school in the first one, and then whereas like I guess the only difference is I think they're supposed to kind of be in California, or maybe they're in Utah. Where they filmed the ski shit, and in this one, like you said, they're in New York. But I mean, he's like the exact same character, drawing the cartoons, in love with the girl, daydreaming, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's hard not to compare it.
Mm-hmm. Fucking, they're both very fun movies. They fucking, Yeah, definite. Like, I don't know if it would make a good double feature because it almost seems like fucking comedy overload. It almost
Yeah,
seems like fucking. There's too many jokes. Like, you can't watch all the Naked Gun movies in a row. Even I wouldn't say.
yeah.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can.
But yeah, I like this movie a lot, but I just can't help it. Like, I just Better Off Dead's like probably in my top 10 of movies, and this is just a really good movie. But at the same time, like I just need to watch this again because I haven't watched this a lot. Where I've been watching Better Off Dead, I've had the DVD for whatever, probably 20 years, and I just got this on Blu-ray like 6 months ago or whatever. But because even
Is
this
his
time,
name was his name pronounced Hoops McCain?
I think it's either Hoops McCann or Hoops McCain. I don't know.
They could make whenever we become president. I think one of the first ones we should mandate is fucking part two to this, and
Yeah.
he's running for president or something because it's kind of like McCain, and McCain he was running for president. Fucking I want to see Hoops try to Hoops goes to office. I say, and we're gonna become president. We're gonna make that happen.
He's like in the Oval Office, just dreaming of hamburgers coming to life, and they even used Twisted Sister music in this early on in this film when they had the guy who plays the bully dad in the Twisted Sister videos. But
Was that before this?
yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure Twisted Sister was like more popular like around '83 ish, if you know what I mean.
I was gonna say because fucking our boy Savage Steve could have made that happen, like because
Yeah,
fucking Twisted Sister saw this movie, like we got to get that guy, we got to get him,
yeah.
because of course they watched this. This is a fucking Kino film.
This is some funny trivia too. The second consecutive comedy featuring an SCTV alumnus, which I think they mean Joe Flaherty, who's barely in the movie, but either way he is. Where a regatta boat race not only ends the movie, but has people remaining on their property as the stakes of the winning. The first was Summer Rental starring John Candy, and Joe Flaherty appears here. So that is interesting. That was like a popular thing. You win a boat race and you get to keep your house. That was like a big thing in movies.
Fucking did you see the ending credits there? I didn't notice that. It said, "Fucking the movie's over. You can go now."
Yeah, yeah. Because I was like waiting for more scenes, and then you just got that saying like, "Yeah, you can go home now."
You think that was like kind of a fuck you? Like fucking you wanted one of those after credit scenes, but you don't get one.
I know you kind of feel cheated.
It's like why even write anything there at all? Which is why the fact that it's there is probably the greatest fucking joke of all.
If I was in a movie, I'd probably at the end it just probably would just say "big cum," and people would be like, "What does that mean? What does
Oh
that
yeah.
mean?"
And it would say it really small, and it would come up, and it would be like one of those things where like people would have to squint, like, what does that say? And then as soon as it's just there long enough for, so as soon as they read it, it dissolves out, and it's over. It's like it says big cup, but it's so small. What are they trying to say? What are they trying to say here?
I put the trailer on. The trailer just starts out. The first 20 seconds of the trailer is Bobcat in the Godzilla suit looking into the camera, saying something that like wasn't in the movie.
Of course it is. That's so awesome.
They were just trying to ride the Bobcat mania because like he almost looks like he's the star of the movie. Like in the trailer, like they show him equally.
Was it a deleted scene or was it literally like, hey, I'm Bobcat? Was he doing like a fucking what's his name from Psycho, like his Psycho thing, where he's just on the set and he's like, oh, something peculiar. He's got fucking, I'm Bobcat, fucking, we're just on the set here, and something crazy happened. Put this helmet on, and then he puts it on. It shows him tearing up the city. Fucking, oh my god, this motherfucker.
Oh, the trailer's ending with him looking. Like, there's so much footage of this Godzilla suit that's not in the movie that's in this trailer. I think they just filmed this like later.
Oh my god. This motherfucker, we got to get him on the show. We got to get him on. He's got to watch his the other movie he made with us.
We'll be like Bobcat. Remember when they made you do the trailer for One Crazy Summer, where you talked in the camera like you were the star of the movie, or whatever? He'd be like, "Oh, great, let's talk about One Crazy Summer all fucking night long, you asshole." Oh.
I actually met the director.
Oh,
but, like,
Savage Steve.
But your idea is better. We'll get him and we'll try to make him mad watching it. That would be more entertaining.
No, but it's good though because like even when we were watching it for the commentary, obviously no sound, just watching it with subtitles on. There was visual jokes I was catching now that I didn't even catch when I watched it the other night. So, yeah, I think 5 years from now we'll need to come back and record another episode about it.
Hell yeah, fucking we do like. There's just something about like fucking Savage Steve that brings us all together as humans, and that's why we're gonna fucking mandate he makes more movies.
If he's on Twitter, we need to send him a tweet asking if he can change his name to Savage Streets Holland.
We should. We need to mandate he makes a remake of Savage Streets too.
Oh, that would be awesome. Because our boy Steinman, he died a long time ago, unfortunately.
Exactly. We're gonna also mandate that he has to use a Ouija board and try to summon the spirit, even if he believes in it, whatever is working or not. We just need him to believe that he's summoning the fucking ghost of Steinman to make this movie. And while you're at it, summon the other Steinman, Jim Steinman, to do the soundtrack or something too.
Oh, Jim Steinman is awesome. Another trivia is Bobcat Goldthwait would later direct Joel Murray in God Bless America. You ever see that God Bless America movie?
I did. I saw it one time a long time
Yeah.
ago. I don't remember a lot about it, but like fucking after watching his other movie, like Best Dad, that movie,
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I only saw that once too, but like I remember it being pretty good because it was pretty satirical, where like a middle-aged man is just bored with his life and he meets a teenage girl who also hates everything, and it's basically like Natural Born Killers, but between a middle-aged man and like a teenage girl, and they just go across the country killing every asshole person they come across.
They were black pilled before it was fucking a thing.
Based in black pill.
Based in black pills.
But yeah, it's kind of funny too because I feel like us doing this commentary, Zach, was the summer event of podcasting because we kind of teased it on a recent live stream, didn't we?
We did.
I kind of felt bad. I just barged in and I wasn't even in the right app, and then you guys got me added in, but I crashed your stream, like, and not just like crashed as in like I went on it unexpectedly. I made the whole thing shut down, and all the viewers who were at home watching it, they couldn't watch a show anymore because I came in either with my shitty internet connection or just we overloaded the server, and I was showing my movie room and all that kind of bullshit. And
there was so much. There was just so much fucking epicness for one server to handle. And we flooded it with our cum, and fucking that machine is not adapted to run on cum yet, but it will be soon.
You did the best podcast tease though when I was just kind of briefly showing my movie shows. You were saying like, oh, you could see the movie we're gonna do next, and like I don't even know if like you could even see the spine of this movie on the shelf if I went past it or not. But like probably everybody thought like we were talking about Asian Fever 37 because we did show that, or at least I showed that on the live stream.
See, I almost thought, because there was a part where you were panning past something, and I could tell you were slowing down to get it, and it was really dark. I thought you did pan past this movie, or did you not?
I was looking at the shelf at first, like I didn't intentionally do it.
I thought I saw this big fucking orange sun covered. I was like, oh, did he just?
You know what? You might have did, because after I watched it or whatever, like instead of putting it like sliding it into the shelf, I put it like on the edge of the shelf. So I might have actually did that. You're right. I think it was because before we recorded the show right now, I went and grabbed it. It was sitting facing out on the thing. So it probably was up there now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, I have to mention, this is one every once in a while you get those Blu-rays that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a manufacturing error or whatever, something about the way they're cut, like fucking the way it spins and the fucking spin, all of a sudden you hear like a weird audible buzz.
Oh yeah,
it's like zzz, like fucking. And it's like, why does it sound like that thing's gonna fucking go super fast to shoot out and cut someone's head off or something? And it's like, this is one of those movies.
Yeah,
one of those.
Warner Archive.
Is your version like that too?
I didn't notice it, but here's the thing. Just for that reason, you won't believe how many I have in like in my bedroom. I just have one player, whatever. But in my home theater room, I got a HD DVD player. I got a Blu-ray player. Then I got 2 4K players hooked up, and like you never know what's like going to make it like buzz. And then like those discs that buzz like that, Zach, I take them out and I put it in another player, and you don't hear it. It's weird.
Yeah, I have
no idea what causes that at all. And because the ones that like buzz, I've had 4K discs do it. And I always heard that 4K discs have to spin faster compared to like regular Blu-rays. But I've had regular Blu-rays I put in the player, and then like I have an LG player who it's kind of like the worst offender. there's maybe I've encountered in the last year, I encountered maybe like 7 discs that buzz real loud, so I just take it out and I put it in another player. But yeah, it's just weird that it would make one player buzz but not the other. You know what I mean?
When we're president, we're gonna mandate they add a new technology that if you get one of those weird buzzing discs, you can take it out and come on it, and that'll fix it.
Well, I think too the problem is like they got to do more to like the actual like because every Blu-ray player is the same. Like when you take it out, you see the disc drive area. It's just that square disc drive. Like they need to put like more screws in it. You got to do like a thicker bottom metal plate of the Blu-ray player to hold it down, and then you have to do like the case. Because my LG player is like I really love the way it looks. It's really kind of stylish and kind of slim looking and black. But it's like, yeah, my Sony player is like way bigger, chunkier, thicker, and then like you can't hear it as much in there. So it's like they really have to do more to hold the disc down, because it's like if that shit's spinning and vibrating and rubbing and shit because it's spinning the disc so fast, and you really need to lock that shit down tight.
You know what I did get recently? Did you know that they put out that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cowabunga collection?
That's the video games, right?
Yeah. Like
no, yeah, like I saw it, but what video games actually come in it?
Turtles and all of them, all the fucking like beat 'em up
the actual
games.
Arcade game, because remember that first arcade game that was awesome.
It has both versions of Turtles in Time, the fucking arcade version and the remake, or like the Nintendo Super Nintendo version. I was so excited to play it. I got that recently. I'm excited to play it.
I remember, I think the arcade game was out, and then the original NES game, and then you got it, and it was like so fucking hard, the original NES game, and I hated it. I never got that far. Like I would play it so far, so long, because it was Turtles, and you always just get stuck or you get killed.
That's actually on there too. So like I'm kind of excited to play through that, because it's like now I can beat it because they added like a rewind feature, like saves.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, now we'll be able to get through that fucking impossible fucking swimming level.
Could you imagine if you're like a game designer back then, right? And like you design this whole game, like so say it's 8 levels, but it's that hard ass shit to where most people never got past the second level.
Exactly.
It's just like just make the game 2 levels and make it impossible to beat. Nobody will ever know the difference. You know what I mean?
Fucking the memories. In a way, it's kind of child exploitation. In a way,
it is.
Consumer exploitation. Well, I don't know. Like it's just like, oh, they're gonna buy it anyway because it's got the Ninja Turtles. Fucking most of them aren't gonna be patient enough to sit there for like their entire because that's what sucked. Is like fucking you couldn't just go back, because it's like you had to beg your mom to take you to the video store to buy. That's if you could buy it. Like we had to rent it, so it's like fucking. Can we rent a game? And then if you rent a game, I think they cost more than a movie, so it's like you can only get one, and then it's like that's your whole weekend, so you take it home and it's unplayable. It's like I'm on the second level and I keep dying because there's fucking you gotta swim and there's a time limit and there's like fucking coral that shocks you. Like what?
Well,
ridiculous.
I'm older than you too, Zach. So like. It was like I was like older when like the video stores started popping up that had the multi-day rentals. Like in the early back in the days, pretty much every place was like, especially the mom and pop places, were like one night. So yeah, we would rent those fucking NES games I remember my buddy. I think it was like the Rocketeer or something. Like we stayed up all night, and my buddy was better at Nintendo than I was. But like I would play it and die, hand him the controller. He would play for a while, die, hand me back the controller. And it's just like we just did all the night because you couldn't turn the thing off because you would lose your place. You know what I mean? There was no save on the game.
So fucking.
Trying to finish that shit in one night. Crazy.
Memories.
I know. But going back to the most important thing that you got to talk about on One Crazy Summer. When I was showing off Asian Fever 37 the other night on the live stream, it was a little dark, so you probably couldn't read the cover too good. You know who actually stars in Asian Fever 37? The actress?
Who?
This is the best. Her name is Jessica Bangkok.
Amazing. That is a porn star name. I want to get that tattooed on my fucking forehead.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. Be like some Riley Reid type shit.
That is like that chick. What's her name? That chick's name, Amber Rose. She got her kids' names tattooed across her forehead. You get Jessica Bangkok's name across her forehead.
A porn star did that?
No, well, she's not a porn star. She's
Okay.
she was married to, or no, she was a girlfriend of Kanye West. She was married to Wiz Khalifa and then some other people. She has a bunch of kids with a bunch of rappers, and like she's
I
like,
was gonna say, imagine like when that kid's going through the whole like fucking, oh fucking mom, embarrassing. It's like, mom, you got my name and
I know
on your
the
face.
kids' names across her forehead, and she was known as like a model and shit, and like I mean, she was a Stacy, and eventually she got a bunch of tattoos, but she had like. She made this weird bra because she had giant like breasts and stuff. She made this weird bra that like wasn't like a bra. It was like this weird like pasty thing with some strings, and like you stick it to your boobs and you pull the strings, and supposedly it just like holds all your giant boobs together. Which like I always thought that was like she did a video like showing it off. I was like, this has got to be a scam. Like if you order this thing, there's no way it's gonna work like this, right? You know what I mean?
Fucking that is the best technology ever created.
And
We're gonna mandate every woman gets a free like we're gonna have free healthcare. We're gonna have free those things.
boob strings, yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking all the tampons, all that shit. You get all that shit for free now. Hell yeah.
That will promise the world to get elected.
We are going to fulfill it because it all runs on cum. That shit. We don't even need money anymore. We got cum.
Like Jermaine Dupri said, money ain't a thing.
It ain't no thing. Hell yeah.
So yeah, so I guess that's it. There's really not a whole lot. Like Savage Streets Holland films, you have to kind of witness them to really understand. Like even us talking about it for a full 2 hours doesn't do it justice. But I was going to ask you what's going on with your other endeavors before we go.
Fucking hell yeah. We are BTM podcast. We do the commentaries. We're gonna do a Broken Arrow commentary.
Oh, amazing.
I had never seen that movie until recently.
It's great.
Fucking, I was thinking like we need to do a face-off commentary at some point. We gotta have the goat on, but I know it's asking a lot because like, isn't that movie at least 2 hours long, or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't care. It's one of my favorite movies.
It's one of it's one of those movies that's like it don't even matter if it's 2 hours long.
I've actually been meaning to propose to you for a while. This is like behind the scenes, out in the front of the scenes. But it's just ridiculous. It's goddamn ridiculous. We've been doing this podcast for 7 years, and I don't think we covered one Nicolas Cage film. I am proposing that we slowly but surely work through his catalog and do a series of podcasts entitled Cage Kino Classics.
Fuck it, I am caming already. I am covered in came already. I literally need to reupholster my fucking chair I'm sitting on.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. Amazing.
When you bought it, it was classified as a gaming chair. Now it's officially a caning chair.
Genius.
We should sell those. We should sell those.
You made me break character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gaming chair.
And you know what's great about it? Like like those like Post-it notes. Like you get a thing of Post-it notes as like a notepad, and then you write on it, and then you take it off. You can peel it off. That's how the chair will be. Like when you buy it, it will have like 50 layers on the seat and on the handles where you rest your arms and stuff. And after you soil it, you don't have to clean it. You just peel it off, and there's another layer underneath.
You are literally writing jokes for my other podcast. That reminds me, fucking the Came Gang. You fucking Came Gang. Gang.
Formerly known as, is that the one? What was it? Formerly Mac and Zach Save the World?
Formerly Mac and Zach Save the World. At some point, it was so funny because like we started that podcast. We were like, we need to come up with a name, and all the names we were coming up with were literally like fucking jism jihadis, fucking cum junkies. Basically, all the names we used throughout, like fucking, we were just coming up with words like that, names like that, and then we discovered Came Gang, and it's like, how did we not think of that back then? And it works perfect now because now they won't even know it's a dirty word, and we won't even get blocked and all that shit until somebody they'll be on to us at some point. They'll be on to us, I'm sure.
And I actually I apologize also because it wasn't my intent, but I almost gave you a heart attack about a week ago relating to Came Gang.
My boy here, he made a graphic design, baby.
Yeah.
What'd you use to do that?
I can't remember now. It was like freelogomaker.com, some shit.
he sends me a picture. It says Came Gang, and it's got like pictures of like fucking basically like cool drawn pictures of like a penis being stroked and all this shit, like fucking just all the cool shit. And I'm just like fucking Jesus, I didn't realize somebody came up with the name first.
You thought I found it somewhere that had been existing for years.
Exactly. I was like fucking. We just changed the name and we did it for no reason because we're just gonna have to change it back or come up with something else. But like, fucking KVA was perfect. I don't know what else we could do.
What's funny though, when I was making that graphic, and they're like, "Oh, like it's not like a weird website. It's like a professional looking website, and it's like." You know, you get like the free crappy res version, but if you want to pay, then you can print it out or download the JPEG. You know, it'll look better because like the one that I was made for free was like all blurry and shit. But like, you know, they're like, oh, make it for, you know, design any logo for your business, your website, your podcast, your kids' little league team. So like I was doing like the normal shit, and then there's like a search bar if you want to get like the little graphics on there. Then eventually it just dawned on me. I was like, do they have like weird shit on here? Like I don't even know why. I started typing in like, you know, the masturbation and coming and shit, and they had graphics for it, like women with big titties sitting on a vibrator, like all kinds of weird shit.
You should have submitted that as like one of the designs for your kids, like softball team or something. Yeah, that'd have been hell. Yeah, I would have came.
Amazing. It's amazing what big business is willing to do for us, huh?
Fucking, are we gonna influence fucking American language, just like humankind language? Are people in Britain gonna be fucking calling it came? I'm gonna have a good came.
Probably.
Fucking, I hope it happens. It would be amazing.
It will happen.
It'd give me a reason to have the word came carved into my forehead, because I've had it since I was like 8 years old. Fucking, the babysitter did it to torture me one time, but I like to think that there's a reason for it. Fucking,
they taught you the genius of came, or what?
I don't. It's all fucking good. It should have been more like it was a birthmark. I should have done that joke. Fucking, it was the Tenacious D Pick of Destiny. Remember they had the birthmark?
Oh yeah.
One of them had one half of it, and that's how it became. Fucking, you know, fucking, I just didn't think of it right away.
It just came later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's it for one crazy summer, and I guess that's really it for summer 2022. Everybody, I mean, it's 115 degrees where I live. Everybody's still hooting and hollering every time I go out. Everything's still crowded. I don't know when these assholes are going to finally go back to school and work, but yeah, sneaking in late, but better late than never.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, that tacked on 20 minutes of unbearable chattering at the end of the episode. Like the last one. Remember the last one, baby? Matilda? I just left it in. You're like, oh, I didn't even know we were still recording. I was like, oh, I'll just leave it in.
Fucking Matilda. Fucking, I still think about, I was listening to Tom Waits and I was singing, Watching Matilda. I thought of that again. And then there's a line in the song where he says something. I swear to God, he says, my Stacy's are soaking wet.
Wow.
My Stacy's are soaking wet. And I'm like, fucking, he knew I was going to make the connection one day.
He put it all together. You did the math in your head that Elon Musk couldn't.
Exactly. Fucking idiot. It's really simple, really.
Exactly. Most genius man in the world, and he's tweeting about Amazon Lord of the Rings. Come on, grow up. He wouldn't last a minute in the Kane game.
Exactly. Fucking, he'd get trampled to death. He'd get trampled to death.
That big watermelon head would be stomped out. And
we'd be fucking tap dancing on his corpse.
He fucking burned to death in one of his death trap fucking wind up electric jalopies that he fucking painters.
Hell yeah. Our boy Elon. Wait, what's his... Now that I think about it, it makes fucking sense that he has fucking weird names for his kids. Like, his parents did name him Elon.
I mean, the one kid's named like Sizor, the other one is like GS8138469 or some shit, and he's like, he goes on podcasts, he's like, oh, a little bit of it's like, I liked it better like 15 years ago when Elon Musk was known as like the eccentric billionaire dealing with a borderline autism. Now he's just like, oh, he's just the smartest guy in the world, that's why he does all that shit. It's like no, it's like did we forget everything we knew about this man?
Yeah. Is he still trying to sell people on the Hyperloop or whatever that was?
I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, only if somebody, like, he only pushes it if somebody's giving the funding for it, and I don't believe anybody's giving the funding for it right now. So, like, yeah, I don't think it's still going on. I think he's all in on SpaceX. We got to fly billionaires to the moon bullshit right now.
There's an interesting theory that he's basically just a guy that's there to like fucking sabotage like real things from happening. Like he proposes.
I can believe that.
He proposes the Hyperloop just to basically get the government away from talking about like fucking high-speed rails and shit that's actually doable. It's like, oh no, I'll give you this weird fucking sci-fi version of it where you're in your car and you go underground in like weird tunnels and shit. And it's like, how, like, we know that people would crash down there. How are you gonna fix it if it like it's just a fucking loop? How you? Like,
you can't come in behind it because everybody will be piled up. Like, you know, there's like when there's like bad weather in like Detroit and shit. There's like a 64. The road gets icy. There's like a 64 car pile up. Imagine the Hyperloop shit.
Exactly. It seems so dumb, but it's like people like
it's so dumb.
It's just like fucking. I was trying to get funding for it. It's like it seems like some people take it seriously. Was he the guy that wanted to do the solar panel roads, or was that a different guy?
I don't remember hearing about it. I just know he thought he was so Chad because he sold that stupid fucking flamethrower that looked like all it was a fucking fancy super soaker filled with gasoline with a lighter on the end of it. But he acted like he engineered it and it was so brilliant, all this bullshit. And it's like, oh, glad you're making stuff that can really help the world.
Fucking hell yeah. A super soaker that doubles as a flamethrower. That's genius.
If we ever find ourselves in a real life version of a bad sci-fi Channel B movie where fucking insects are all besieging us and tearing our flesh off our bodies, and we'll have your cheap ass flamethrower we can shoot up into the air to burn them up, then that would be great.
Yeah, the solar panel roadways was another one that was like, oh yeah, sounds good, but then like right away people were like, oh dude, the shit we make solar panels out, that's not going to be able to hold up as a road. It'll just break.
Asphalt cracks underneath semi trucks. What do you think solar panels are going to do?
And then of course they were like, fucking no, well, you're lying. And then
you're lying.
Of course it did. It right away.
Our boy Evil, when he was researching the flat earth, he just proved the solar panel mockery.
Our boy.
All right.
He comes up every once in a while.
He does. There's only room for one Elon in the movie graveyard, and that's Elon Mitchell Smith. So beat it, Musk. I don't want to I don't want to smell your fingers. I don't care where they've been.
Smell your fingers.
Yeah.
Freddie got fingers.
He did.
We need the Midwestern accent version. Freddie got fingers. Is that a Midwestern thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or a Southern thing, maybe.
Could be a Kentucky thing. Not really Southern, but it's a Kentucky thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so thanks for joining us. Put up with all these shenanigans. Shit like this is probably why the numbers keep going down all month, but it's like a disease and there's no cure for it. So until next time, we'll catch you back right here in the movie graveyard.
Dog.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.